This video is going to break down some of the installation and setup procedures for the Willis 818 3A surface grinder. This is the way the machine will arrive at your facility. As you can probably see here, the table runs on high precision ball bearings. Those are little bearing packs, and these machines, to prevent any damage to those, are shipped without the table and the chuck installed, because the bouncing can possibly put little flats on the balls, which would not be good. Just walk around here, you can see their table is right there. This is the combination dust suction flood coolant system, and you can see the setup of these is pretty easy. All of the cables down here and the wiring is all clearly marked and matches up with locations in the electrical cabinet. That's the drain for the coolant. You can kind of see it comes from up there. And this is the hydraulic tank. Same thing with the cables and the hookups. All these are clearly marked, and they match up with the marking on the hydraulic lines that run the table. Now, in the back of the skid here, you can see you have some guarding, which fits on the table, help to collect the coolant and the swarf. This is the 8x18 permanent magnet chuck. It's the electric tank, which we'll be seeing more later. And again, you can see these are clearly marked hydraulic lines. Here's the box of accessories. You'll find all your leveling pads in there. There's the wheel. There's a balancing stand. The arbor and everything is inside the electrical cabinet. And here is the operation panel and the down feed. You can also see the cross feed has locks, which will need to be removed before using. And you can see there's another lock on that side. And you can see that the down feed is held up by a wooden block there. All right, now we're a little further along in the production of this 818 3A grinder. I can see right here we've installed a single axis down feed to keep track of your vertical height. We also have everything hooked up here. You'll be able to see in the electrical cabinet here, that right there is where you bring in your main power, and this strip here is clearly marked, and that's where you hook up your hydraulic system and also your coolant tank. Here you also get a little better look at the hookup of the hydraulic system. Again, everything is clearly marked with numbers and letters, so you really can't hook it up incorrectly. And again, here you can get a little better view of the dust suction and flood coolant system. We have not hooked this up just for this demonstration purpose, but again, just hook up the wires just like the numbers have into the electrical cabinet. And your coolant system will sit in this general area once you have the machine on its leveling pads on the floor. Now we're going to give a real quick introduction on the operation of this control panel and the machine. Power is to the machine. You can see the first thing we'll do is kick out the e-stop. That energizes power to the machine. And you can see this controls the spindle. This controls the hydraulic system. This turns on or off the coolant system, which we don't have hooked up. This whole little box right here, that is for the cross feed. Now you're in manual, so you'll see you can move that manually. This is an override for how big a step you'll make in the cross feed when you're doing it in automatic. This will be when it's an automatic cycle. And this down right here, that's for the automatic cycle. This will be for plunge grinding. And this will be for the plunge grinding where your cross feed is disabled if you're just grinding a slot or a very thin piece. And this will be regular surface grinding. So you can hear the hydraulic system is on, and you engage the table right there, and you adjust the speed just by adjusting that valve. You can also adjust these dogs right here to adjust for the length of the stroke of the table depending on how big your workpiece is. You can also see on the side of the machine you have some limit switches and dogs there, which also will control the amount that it feeds in and out. If you have very small pieces, you don't want to grind air, so you can adjust those pretty easily. Now the down feed on this machine, you'll see, hopefully you can see it, you have options of, these are all in tenths, so that's 1/10 per down feed, up to 10/10, which is 1/1000 of an inch per down feed. We'll set it at 5/10 per down feed. And then you have your dial right here. This is how you set up, let's say you want to go down 5/1000 of an inch. You can see now that's right at 5,000. And we'll set that thumb screw. And when this feeds down to 0, it'll stop feeding and the machine will just continue to spark out. And we'll show a little demonstration of that now. Alright, now we have it set up to go down 5/1000 of an inch at 5/10,000 of an inch per down feed. We're going to set it up to do this on a plunge cycle so it doesn't take up time using the cross feed also. We'll get the table going. This already assumes you're at your correct height, ready to start grinding. Now you'll turn on the plunge grinding. You'll turn on the automatic, and you'll hit this to start the cycle. Now with each pass of the table, it's going to go down 5/10,000 of an inch. You can see that also show up on the digital readout. And when that gets to 0, the machine will stop feeding and the light will turn off to let the operator know that they've reached that spot. Now the operator can let it just spark out here as many times as they want. This is as long as it'll go on pretty much forever. So the operator will have to stop this. Now we're going to show a cycle doing the regular surface grinding. Again, we have it set for 5/10,000 per down feed. I did lower it. It's only going down 2,500 total, just for time's sake. We'll get the table going. Now we're going to go to the automatic mode here. This is going to get the table started. So you can see the table moving. This little rheostat here adjusts how far you're going to move per stroke. So you can make that very small or large passes depending on the work you got going on. Now to start the down feed cycle, we're in automatic there. Now this is going to start the down feed cycle. So we'll get to the end of the stroke. I'll make that a little smaller. And now we see got one more pass there. And when we're done with this last pass, you'll see this light will turn off, which will let the operator know that it's reached your down point. And there you go. And now this machine will keep running like this in the cross feed, but the down feed will stop feeding, and it's up to the operator to stop the machine. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, and we hope you enjoy your new 818 3A surface grinder.